Hey, gang, we are back now after a little bit of technical difficulty. Hopefully you can hear us on the airways. We're going to start this over again one quick time with a happy Wednesday night. This is just kind of something that we do in Lead 212. So on the count of three, jazz hands, spirit fingers. 1, 2, 3.
Happy Wednesday night.
My name's Mike Finnegan. I'm on faculty with the Staley School of Leadership Studies. I've got two awesome students with me here today to kind of put into context what a Lead 212 experience could look like for you next spring here at the Staley School of Leadership Studies. So let's start with introductions.
Yes, my name's Emily Lowe, and I'm a class leader this semester, and I'm a senior in Human Development and Family Sciences and Nonprofit Leadership Studies.
Yeah, so my name's Nate Williams. I'm a freshman enrolled in Lead 212, the Introduction to Leadership Studies. I'm from St. George, Kansas. I have a major in food science, pre-med, and a minor in leadership.
And now, hey, Emily, you've got big news to share, right?
Yes, so I just got a job at Ogden Elementary, and I'll be a special ed teacher there next semester. And I want to give this school and Lead 212 props for helping me get that job. One thing we do in Lead 212 is you get to learn your strengths, and you get to learn more about like you as a person. And so my strengths are woo, includer, developer, adaptability, and belief. And those are things that I use every day and in my classroom. And so now that I know that, I can leverage those strengths to help my students.
Awesome. I love it. And Nate, what's been important for you in terms of kind of like a return on investment thus far as a first semester freshman?
Yeah, so there's been a lot of things that I've learned in Lead 212 that have done a lot for me this semester at K-State, adapting to the college life. One of those things, like you talked about, was learning your strengths. My top 5 strengths are harmony, belief, responsibility, consistency, and relator. And so getting a better understanding of what those strengths mean and what you're good at really helps you to leverage those strengths, make the most of them, and just overall make yourself more successful if you can focus on what you're good at. And so another thing that I've kind of really took to heart that we've learned at Lead 212, we talked about this here a while back, but it was the willingness to be disturbed and to be opened up to new ideas and opinions from others. I come from a really small town, so a lot of people think the same, talk the same, all that kind of stuff, and it's just not a very diverse place. No knack to where I'm from, but just a small town. And so coming here to K-State, there's so many different people with so many different types of backgrounds and ideas and beliefs than you, and just that willing to listen to what they have to say, willing to understand who they are and what they identify with is really important, because it gives you a better understanding of your colleagues, and it maybe give you a better understanding of why you believe what you believe.
You bet. And in fact, based on kind of what Nate was saying about sharing his story, next spring, if you're enrolled in Lead 212, we don't use a formal textbook in that class, because we believe that leadership resides in our own lived experiences. So we want students to talk and to hear their own voice, to learn from one another, because in this process, we're all teachers, leaders, and learners in the Lead 212 experience. So gosh, gang, tell me a little bit about what are some things that maybe have separated the Lead 212 experience that you've had, maybe from other classes or courses at K-State?
Yeah, so a huge thing for me is I've been a part of many large lectures, and one thing that's always missing from those is the personality or the personal connection with the faculty member or the professor, and that's not a problem here. Like Mike and Tamara and Amanda's goal for Lead 212 is to learn everybody's name in the classroom, and with 200 people, you guys have 600 people, I guess, so that's kind of hard, but they can do it, and so they'll come up to you and call you by name and have a conversation with you, which is really cool.
Yeah, along with that, you talked about how it's, you get that personal feeling with your teachers, but also you get that better connection with your fellow classmates, not only just the kids that you sit with every day that maybe you know from the dorms or Greek life or whatever, but your learning communities that we're in. So we're in the lecture hall with 180 kids, but then some days we break off into what's called our learning community. That's about 12 or 15 of us. And we kind of just go deeper into what we've been talking about in town hall. And it's just a really cool experience, again, to see what other people think about what's going on in Lead 212, and just build that relationship with people, especially for me. I mean, we're all freshmen in Lead 212 right now, and we're going to be here for the next 4 years, so you can build that community. And I know a lot of people in my learning community and different communities through leadership that I spend more time with now, and we go to classes together and that kind of thing. So it's just a unique experience, and yeah.
You bet. And gang, hey, for our listeners out there, if you've got any questions, go ahead and send them in to us. We'd love to take a couple questions live from you all. Next spring, we're going to be teaching 2 sections of Lead 212. We've got a 40-person section that Mafule is going to teach, and that's going to be a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class from 9:30 to 10:20. Then I'm going to be teaching the class Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9:30 to 10:45. And right now, I mean, that class could be anywhere from 80 students all the way up to 180 students because we're going to break off from our large kind of town hall space and form small group learning communities to make sure that you as students can talk, interact, and learn from one another in the process. Emily, tell me a little bit about your experience as a 212 class leader.
Yeah, so I am really excited to be back in Lead 212. I did it my freshman year, and now my role is I have 12 in my learning community, and we get to break off into our small group and debrief the process and what's happening in town hall, and then kind of work through how we can apply that not just in the classroom but in everyday life. And just hearing the perspective from my students is like really cool to me. Also, if you're a junior or senior and still interested in Lead 212, it's still available. The spring semester classes is open for any ages, anyone. So enroll if you haven't done Lead 212 yet.
You bet. All right, Nate, I got to ask, so far to date, we're just about week 11, week 12 of the semester. What has been the most kind of maybe powerful learning experience that you've had thus far in 212?
I think definitely the most impactful for me has been recently what we've been doing with our community learning experience, partnering with the Flint Hills Bread Basket in our efforts to help fight food insecurity here locally in Manhattan and Riley County. We talked about this, really hit home to me. I'm originally born in Manhattan, so I'm from Riley County, and just to learn about Riley County being the leading county in food insecurity. And so it's kind of one of those things where it kind of passes by the wayside if you're not looking out for it. And so that opportunity for me to work alongside my learning community, I know before this CLE, our learning community was great, but sometimes it was hard for us to break out of our shell. And then we started this project, and man, the ideas got rolling. Our group chat got blown up with ideas and all this stuff, and we were able to do a lot of great things. And we just wrapped that up this past Monday. So that's probably been the most impactful for me. So, how is that different for you, Emily, as a class leader? In that the position of a class leader instead of a Lead 212 student with the CLE this year?
Yeah, so as a class leader, our role is to help facilitate conversation and facilitate the students to do the work. And so that's been really cool for me because when I was doing it, I was doing the work. But now my students have been telling me what to do, which is really cool. And so I am working alongside them and kind of like putting my input here and there, and having them think deeper about certain things, which is really cool to help them dive under the surface and think not just surface level things, but like really how it's making an impact and things like that. So yeah, it's been really cool.
I know it was neat for me to see the first 9 weeks or whatever before we really dove into the CLE. It was our class leaders kind of at the forefront of everything, and then I know. For my learning community, Abby Moser, she kind of took a step back, facilitated when she needed to, got us to where we needed to go. But once conversation started, she kind of stepped back and let us go. And sometimes you just got to dive right in to learn. And I was a little nervous at first, but it was great. It was definitely an awesome experience.
And I think those are lots of times learning moments. When is it that we're learning about our ability to exercise leadership, and when is it our responsibility to help develop a capacity for others to exercise leadership? So it's kind of like this focus on self, focus on others, and then focus on the community around us. Emily and Nate, there was some things happening on social media just about a week ago from Town Hall. What was flying around Town Hall?
6 pounds of salmon.
So I gotta bring that kind of to life. There is a place in Seattle, Washington called the Seattle, Washington Pikes Place Fish Market, and they create a tremendous amount of energy. And if you haven't guessed already, I'm kind of an energy guy, right? And so after going to Seattle, Washington, there's tons of energy, and I wanted to bring that energy back into the classroom. So I kid you not, to kind of put the point home about be there, play, make your day, make somebody else's day, choose your attitude. I will throw a fish in class. Several times. Emily, Nate, did either of you catch the fish?
I did.
I did not, actually. My class was very urgent to, once the first girl got up there, everyone was like, all right, let's do this. And before I knew it, there was 6, 7, 8 people down there catching the fish, and we had a couple minutes left. But no, that was interesting at 9:30 in the morning or 10:30 in the morning.
Yes. So another thing that I really like about the Staley School is the space that it provides. Different spaces just to go out and study or things like that. So Nate, what about the Staley School is the Staley School, the space community is different than other places you've experienced on campus?
Right. Yeah. So unless you're going to Hale Library or the Union, you're kind of on campus. You're finding it's hard to find places to go find a quiet place and just study that's also convenient and comfortable. And so that's where the Staley School really sticks out. All around the building, you've got couches or chairs and stuff that you can put your laptop on a desk and work on homework. There's corners; they're all in corners of the building that you can just find a quiet place to work on homework. We have Redina's downstairs, so if you're needing a little pick-me-up in the morning, you get some caffeine in a cup. Or you can, I've had several meetings with mentors and stuff in Redina's, and it's just a very unique building. And then along with just finding a place to, a quiet place, you've got so many people here that spend a lot of time here. So your learning community, leaders, faculty, interns, that sort of thing. For example, I have, Mike and Tamara, and then I've got my learning community leader, and then I've got 2 more students in the CAP community that I'm in that are always in the leadership building. So if I ever need anything, advice, someone to talk to, say, hey, something happened, I use my strengths or something, I come upstairs, talk to Mike, talk to Tori, talk to Abby, whoever I need to. And it's just it's a very welcoming environment. It's got that kind of family feel that K-State strives for.
You bet.
What about you, Emily?
So I'm kind of the same way, the community that the building brings. Also, best place to study on campus is out on the balcony. So if you haven't experienced it yet, I'd wait till it gets warmer and experience it.
So gang, hey, if you're still looking for a place to kind of get involved and to get connected on campus, leadership studies just might be the space for you to start as you springboard into other things across campus. We want to get students connected, and we want to know what are your hopes, dreams, and aspirations, and how can we leverage our networks to help get you there with a lot of leadership competencies, skills, and abilities, so you can go out and kind of conquer the world around you and have a positive impact on others. Gang, it's been a ton of fun tonight.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Enjoy talking with you guys.
And so just a reminder, hey, you can connect with us on email, social media, website. Give us a tweet, and we'll look forward to working with you this spring.
Bye.
Bye.
Go Cats.